Hello, Internet. Welcome to episode 12 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man. What did I do this weekend? Sex? No, but I did watch Wonka. I didn't like it. Turned it off after 40 minutes. I just wasn't invested enough in the characters. I need more depth to be engaged in the story. Wonka got off the boat. Why was he on the boat? I don't know. The orphan, I was supposed to care about her, but maybe I'm just cold-hearted, but I'm not just gonna root for an orphan just because she's an orphan and no one wanted to be her parent. The three evil guys, I feel like I'm giving too much away. I love the way they were dressed. The visuals of the movie were orgasmic, minus the children. Oh, that's weird, but visually stunning. The bad guys, though, I know they were against Wonka, but I didn't care to hate them. So yeah, I judge movies by how often I scroll through my phone while I'm watching, and I was scrolling through my phone looking for things to talk about with all of you. So yeah, Wonka hard pass for me. But again, it probably made a cajillion dollars at the theater, and I'm in a little bedroom studio for like a couple $1,000. So who the fuck am I? That's the problem with the internet. Like a bunch of losers like myself are telling a bunch of successful, real people that their products are dog shit. So don't listen to me. Go see Wonka. All right, let's get the episode moving. This one's a funny one. This one comes from the subreddit. Brian, stop touching your face. Okay. Our shit moms groups say, mom with exotic daughters doesn't want ugly kids. WTF? Question mark. Hello, everyone. I am having a very difficult time with something, and I just cannot shake it. Okay, here it goes. Big sigh. So I was previously married to my first husband. I had been with him since I was 20. That's a little early. We divorced in 2018. That's 6 years ago. But we had 3 beautiful girls. There you go. Back then, I was into the looks and features. So my girls are exotic looking. All right, we'll bring them our way to Verbal Graffiti. Since then, I met my now husband, who is nothing like the last looks-wise, but an awesome person. With all that being said, he wants a child, but I don't want an unattractive child. I know that sounds bad, but I can't help the way I feel. He has other children who are now adults, and my goodness, I don't like talking about other people's children, but I'd rather pass. What is a newly wife to do? Do I just stay on birth control and lie? Or just come clean and tell him the real reason why I don't want a child? Am I selfish? I am not married, nor have I ever been married. So maybe I'm speaking out of school here, but I do believe if you tell your husband that his adult kids are what's a nice way to put this? Are not pleasing to the eye, you might cease to be married. So don't be honest with him. I mean, this goes down to the very beginning of the relationship where you never want to get dicked down by ugly. And you went and married ugly. And that's why you're in this predicament now that you're kind of wrestling with. It's a tough one because everyone in the comments on this Reddit post said you were a terrible person and you should never have more children, that you already have 3 and he has 1. No, if you want to have more children. But the problem is, yeah, if you have a child with this ugly, people are going to mistake your baby for a Fraggle Rock, and that's super embarrassing. You don't want that. And what it comes down to is, yeah, your husband has a great personality. He's awesome, but awesome is not part of the genetic code. Like when the sperm and the egg, when they melt together and morph in a silly putty, but then into a baby. Awesome is not part of that. Like our bone structure, our height, our appearance, our skin, like that's all in the genetic code. Awesome is nowhere to be found. And you know that, I know that, everyone on Reddit wants to avoid that, but we're speaking the truth here. Yeah, your child's going to be ugly, so you can't have a child with your now husband. Well, what it reminds me of is, and I'm sure you all kind of have an iteration of this. On Christmas Eve, I go to my oldest sister, Carrie's house. I won't say her last name, but her children, my nieces and nephews, they're like late teens, early 20s now. And on her, like her front door, on the back of it, they have like all their Christmas photos from friends, like friends from all of them. And we all like, we'll look through the cards, our family, go, oh, that's a pretty family. That's an ugly family. That's an okay. Ooh, that's a really, really pretty family. And you just judge the families based on appearance. And it just so happens that all the pretty families seem to be smiling just a little bit more. There seems to be a little bit more of a glow to them. And that's because pretty people have better lives than ugly people. That's just a plain fact. That is life. And nobody cares about ugly people. That's why their lives are worse than the pretty ones. You know how we have like Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. You're never going to hear, there's never going to be a group that's for like ugly lives matter because nobody cares about them. We're okay with them being human beings, but like nobody wants to root for the ugly people. We might be like, oh yeah, it's good for you that you did something with your life, but don't, can you get out of the Christmas photo? Can you like get behind a tall person with the good hair? And that's where your child's going to be if you have a child with him. Nobody wants to be associated with ugly, and you married into ugly. Like, you should have seen the 3 kids. You know what probably happened? Like, you started dating this guy, you weren't attracted to him, but your girlfriend said, oh no, but he has a great personality, give him a chance. And you gave him a chance. So it's your girlfriends who fucked you over. But the B-Man's here, Verbal Graffiti's here, we're back, we got your back. So I'm going to tell you, what should you do? See, you can't get off your birth control or lie to him about being on your birth control, because if you do, I'm assuming you live together, like you probably share the same bathroom. So he's going to open up the cabinet, and at one point he's going to find your birth control if you're taking a pill, and that's going to lead to arguments and mistrust. So I think the only solution is you need to, next time you're ovulating, you need to cheat on your husband. Go to a bar, find a Chad, find a sexy bartender with like a sleeve of tattoos, have a couple shots of tequila, and fuck him in the bathroom. And keep doing that each month. Every time you're ovulating, those few days, go find a Chad in your neighborhood, go to the gym, maybe a trainer, a buff guy who's over 6'2", ripped with the vein on the arm. I don't have that, but find a guy with those veins, those sexy veins on the arm, and fuck as many guys who you can find while you're ovulating. Now, there may be a chance that your husband will be the one to impregnate you, but you gotta play roulette. Like this is the pool you're in, and this is the only solution we've come up with here at Verbal Graffiti is, yeah, you gotta get dicked down by the Chads while you're ovulating, have sex with your husband while you're on your period or like right off of it, so it's very low chance of pregnancy with him, and just hope that one of the Chads knocks you up, and then you get the win-win. You get to keep the awesome, but then have a child that doesn't look like a Fraggle Rock. Hope that helps. Let's go to that was a weird one, huh? Let's go to a segment now. I love women. I just hate their orbit. You feel me? No, I've been in love twice. I hate spending time with their family and friends. Like, I like fucking you. I love spooning you. Talking about Wonka makes me think about Gene Wilder. Is there anybody who got after it more in Hollywood in the 70s than Gene? Maybe Burt Reynolds, but that's about it. Any babe who had sex with Gene Wilder in the 70s was not worried about her baby turning into Gumpy. R.I.P. Gene Wilder. All right, let's get to it. This one comes from our Zillow Gone Wild. People love looking at Zillow. All right, I'll post the photos here. This mansion features a go-kart racetrack, 3 kitchens, 2 ballet studios, a basketball stadium, I think you mean court, a massive golf simulator, a movie theater, a lake, a multi-level pool, a shooting range, and much, much more. All I see when I look at this Zillow listing is how much it sucks to be an adult. Because as a kid, I love this. This is what's those movie? Richie Rich making a baby with Happy Gilmore. It's a perfect kid house from the 90s, but as an adult, I look at this and immediately I think about insurance and taxes. Like, how many acres of land is that? Or what state is it in? That's going to be like $70,000 a year in taxes alone. And with all those toys, I mean, can you even get insurance on a house that has a go-kart course? It makes me think about the first Freakonomics book that came out, they did a study, or they mentioned a study where more kids die from pools than being shot by guns. So you think about kids who have an above ground pool, like a 15-foot above ground pool, like they can't survive in that. The kids are dying in that. And now you have a pool that you basically hijacked from a Breeze's all-inclusive resort from the Bahamas, and you put that in your backyard next to a go-kart course. Like, every kid in that neighborhood is going to die. And another problem is there are no kids to enjoy this house, because when you have a house like that, you don't have neighbors because it takes up so much land. So there's going to be no kids to come over to do ballet and play go-karts. The go-karts is just that's like a vanity thing. You're going to play with the go-karts your first 2 weeks, and then it's going to collect dust. It's a lot similar to, I have a friend who, when he bought a house, he put a ping pong table in like a spare room, never used it. Same thing. I guarantee you have friends who either have like a ping pong table, a pool table, a foosball, maybe a room for darts, and it never gets used. It becomes a waste. It becomes more or less like your pool table, if you have one, is probably, you're just using it to use storage to put clothes on top of. Same thing with this go-kart course. What it also reminds me of is it looks cool to look at, but to actually live in is just a pain in the ass, because my bedroom, it takes me about 2 hours to clean my room, and I basically live in like a 12-foot by 12-foot room. And when you have like 12 acres of land, you're going to have to pay a cleaner, like $1,000 a week to clean. I mean, that's a full-time job plus overtime to keep this place clean. You're going to have to spend $500 a week on Windex and 409 and Mr. Clean and all that bullshit supplies. You're going to be drowned in just cleaning supplies. I mean, you're never going to get to enjoy this house because there's going to be so many. You're going to have so many employees. It's like people who have a yacht. It's like, yeah, great, you have a yacht, but there's also 300 employees who are kind of working for you, but they're also judging you every time you walk by. No, I want no part of this house, because the upkeep on this house is impossible. It reminds me of the Playboy Mansion. When I first started going, it was a place to be. Everybody in Hollywood was there. I'm sure Gene Wilder and Burt Reynolds were there, just fucking playmates on some like round bed with a the mirror on the ceiling and the disco light. But that was great. But by like 19 or 2000, when Hefner had those triplets who were like his wife, but also like his sex slaves, like everyone said the Playboy Mansion was run down. It looked more like the Bunny Ranch in fucking Reno, Nevada. Same thing with this house. It's great for 2 years, and then it's you're getting no pleasure. It's all aggravation. And like even if you did have kids, me and my friends in the 90s, we would love this house. Like we would play on the basketball court all day and do the go-karting. The kids today, they don't do that. I think they just scroll through. They'd be like, great, we'll go-kart for 10 minutes, and then they want to scroll through their phone on TikTok and give themselves a body dysmorphia. Like kids don't want to, kids don't go outside. And with all this, it's like, yeah, great. All right. Like dad wants to do ballet with me. Great. I'd rather go on Instagram and find out what whatever kids are doing online today. Weird sidetrack. No, this house, hard pass for me. Not that I could afford it. Yeah, great. I'll go twirl on your ballet studio and your hot shower and be a guest for a weekend. But other than that, don't want to be there. And also this ruins any vacation you want to go on. You bring your family to some exotic island, private resort, and your kids are going to go, what, this pool only has one slide and it doesn't twist. You're just screwing yourself up if you buy this house. And it makes me think that's why it's on Zillow. Zillow, learn how to talk. My mom's dog's name is Willow. That was a slip there. It's probably going to stay on Zillow for the rest of the year and years to come because who wants to live in that death trap? All right. Till next episode, go suck a fat one.